Hey everyone, welcome back to the FHMB channel. In this episode I'm going to be showing you how to do a basic setup on your suspension. Let's crack on. Right, before we get into the suspension setup, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the subscribers. We are nearly at 200 already. I had a little thought about it last night and I thought, wouldn't it be a good idea if we could do something for charity? So I thought, if we can get to 500 subscribers, I'll set up a GoFundMe page. I will put the first 50 quid in it, and if we can get to 500 quid, 500 subscribers, I will shave the beard off. And Phil, can you remember what you said to me last time I shaved this off?
It does hide a multitude of chins, and you've got egg on your chin, not that one.
Yeah, that's enough now. Yeah, dad jokes, good ones. Right, let's crack on with the setup. So, for setting up your suspension on your MTB, what you're going to need is a tape measure and a shock pump. Let's crack on. Let's go. Right, so this is the general setup for your suspension on the most common type of suspension, which is air suspension. So with 3 types of settings on standard suspension is sag, compression and rebound. We're going to start with the shock and by setting the sag. Right, so first we're going to set the sag on the rear shock. Now if you go on your shock manufacturer's website, they will give you a baseline pressure to put in there for your rider weight. So I'll put that in and we're going to see where we're at on the first go. So get on there, give it a bounce, make sure everything's run through. Push your O-ring up to the base, gently ease your weight down and get off without bouncing. That should give us something to measure. Where are we at? Well, that doesn't look like 30%. What are we at? We want 1.8 centimeters and we're at 3, so we're at 30 mil. So we need to add more air. So we're going to need shock pump. Take the cap off. Screw on your shock pump. So I think we want quite a bit of air in there to get to 30. We was at 160, so I'm going to go 200. Keep it in the button. 200, let's try that. Cycle it through. Push the O-ring up. Gently ease your weight on. Get off without bouncing. I think we're still off there, aren't we? Yeah. What we got? 22, something like that. Bit more, 250. Let's go for 250. That takes some work, that. Right, 260-ish. Again, cycle it through the stroke. Push your O-ring up. Gently put your weight on. And get off. Give it a measure. What are we at? What's that? 1.7. Still recording. That's really hard work. Yeah. 1.7, so what did we want? 1.8. I'm happy with that. It's close enough. We're good with that. Take your it off. And next we are going to set the rebound. So now we're going to set the rebound. The rebound is usually a red dial, and rebound is what controls the speed that your suspension returns to the set position. Really should be done out on the trail. So what I tend to do is work out how many clicks of rebound your suspension has got. This specific one has 10, so I set it on 5 in the middle, and then when I'm out on the trail, if it's bouncing too fast, you need more rebound. If it's bogging down and you're taking big hits, you need less rebound. So that really needs to be set out on the trail. So let's move on to compression. Right, so your compression is usually a blue lever, and the compression controls the speed, obviously, in which your suspension compresses. Now on this, it's kind of set by the sag that we've already set and the air pressure that you've got in there, but this is open, so this will give you the fastest compression. Then you've got a middle setting on it, so obviously it's slightly slower. And then you've got kind of locked out, that's about 80% locked out, so that's for climbing up fire roads to cut down on the bounce. So the more upmarket suspensions, I'll have a little knob like the red one with a lot more settings on, but that's your basics. So you've got your sag, your compression and your rebound. Let's move on to the fork. Right, we'll move on to the forks. Very similar to your shock with the 3 settings: sag, compression, rebound. So we'll start by setting the sag. So for this, you're going to need your shock pump again. Available in the link below. Right, so you'll have an air cap on the top of your suspension leg. Remove the air cap. Underneath you've got your valve. If you go on the website of your specific shock, like this one's Rockshox, they will have a general setup guide giving you an idea of what kind of pressure to put in. Now I believe it said for me, chubby fella, 100 psi. So what we got in here? Oh, we've got 100. So let's have a check, see where it is. Same again with the sag, somewhere between 15 and 30%. I generally run 20% on my fork, 30% on my shock. There's no O-ring on my fork, so what you can use, just a wire tie, stick around, just while you're setting up, and it'll come off again later. So again, get on, but this time instead of just sitting on, cycle her through, put it down, and this time you're going to have to hold on to something, gently get up, and you want to be putting your weight over in like an aggressive position, then get off and see where we're at. So 20% of 160mm travel fork is 32. So you measure it from the rubber seal at the bottom. Oh, we're at 60, so we want to be at 32, so we want quite a bit more pressure in that to get it somewhere near. So 100, let's stick about another 30 psi in there. Reconnect your pump. You can actually leave your pump on. I don't even know why I took it off, to be honest. It's causing myself more work. Right, 100, let's go to 130. There we go. That'll do. So So when you're putting your pressure in, go slightly over what you want, because you will lose a little when taking the pump off. So I've gone to about 140 because I want 130 in there. See where that puts us. Right, so again, cycle your forks through a few times, put your ring to the bottom, gently get in your full attack position and off without bouncing if you can. That looks more like it. What we got? 32 to the bottom of there, from the top of your seal to the bottom of the O-ring. 32, so that's 20%. So that's the sag set. So with setting your sag, that's done. Now we're on to the rebound and compression. Now, same as I said on the rear shock, what I would do basically for a basic setup, I would count the amount of clicks of rebound you have. So the rebound is at the bottom of your fork, and this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 settings. And if you check out the back of the fork, it actually has a little hair and a tortoise to show you faster and slower which direction. So I would move it to fully slow and open it halfway. So this has got 5, so I'm going to go 3 from fully on. 1, 2, 3. So that gives me a base setting, and then I will adjust that when I'm out on the trail depending how it feels. So if it's bouncing really fast, I want more rebound to slow it down. If it's bogging down and giving me real big kicks, it's because the rebound's too slow, so you need to speed it up. Now with the compression, same again. This one doesn't have any clicks. This is a friction move to lock out. So we can totally ignore it. So carry on, right, carry on. So yeah, this one does not have compression. It's basically open or closed, but a lot will come with click settings, and I would do the same again. I would work out how many clicks you've got, and I would go in the middle for a base setting. Out on the trail, adjust to what makes you feel comfortable on the bike or how you ride. So let me give you a recap. To open all your settings to fully open, set your sag with your shock pump to between 15 and 30%, then set your rebound to the middle setting, then set your compression to the middle setting, and you've got a perfect baseline to go out and work exactly how you want it setting up. Right, so Phil has just explained to me that he's actually more confused now than when we started the video. So I tried to do a video to do an easy setup, but it turns out it is quite complicated. So let me just run through it one more time. Go on the website of your manufacturer and get your base pressure for your shock or your fork. Put that pressure into it. That is your sag. You want between 15 and 30% in the rear and the front. Then your compression is the speed in which your suspension goes down, which is adjusted clockwise to make it slower, anti-clockwise will make it faster. Rebound is the speed your suspension will return to its sag position, and again clockwise will make that slower, anti-clockwise will speed it up. That sounds complicated to me. This is not making it easier. So I'm going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you managed to get something from me rambling on about suspension, and I hope it improves your ride. So thanks for watching. If you're still watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.